The title of this book is Shadows. Here's our title page. We can see that it's by Meg Gertner. Here's our table of contents. It tells us that this book has 4 chapters. Each chapter has a name that will tell us what's going to be in that chapter, and it also tells us what page the chapter will start on. Let's begin with chapter 1. What is a shadow? A girl walks outside. A dark figure follows. It moves when she moves. It stops when she stops. It is her shadow. Shadows form when opaque objects block light. So we can see a word that is in bold, and it also happens to be a different color. So that's an important word in this nonfiction book, opaque. And I bet it will be listed in the glossary in the back of the book. Chapter 2, light. Light shines from a source. This source could be the sun, a lamp, or a flashlight. Light shoots out in straight lines. These lines beam in all directions. So we had 2 important bold words there. We had source and we had beam. The light hits an object. The light cannot pass through it. A dark spot appears behind the object. This spot is a shadow. So we have a very nice diagram. The flashlight is labeled the light source. These arrows indicate the beams of light. The object is labeled, it's a baseball, and then the light, where the light can't go through, is labeled as the shadow. Not all objects have shadows. Some objects are transparent. They let all light through. Other objects are translucent. They let only some light through. And then the little turquoise box says, translucent objects have fuzzy shadows. Chapter 3, growing and shrinking. Shadows change shape when their light source moves. The sun causes shadows to change throughout the day. In the morning, the sun is low in the sky. Objects block more of the sun's light. Shadows are long. At noon, the sun is high in the sky. Objects block less of the sun's light. Shadows are short. Shadows also change when objects move. Move an object away from a light, the shadow gets smaller. Move the object close to the light, the shadow grows. So this label tells us that the light source is over on this side, and so the object that is closer has the longer shadow, and the object that's farther away from the light source has the shorter shadow. Chapter 4, useful shadows. Shadows stay cool even on hot days. The sun's light makes heat, but shadows have less light, so they get less heat. And in the box, it says, people used to tell time by watching shadows made by the sun. X-rays use shadows. Doctors shine these rays on a sick person. These X-rays pass through skin, but they can't pass through bone. Doctors look at the shadow to see what is wrong. So there's our glossary. It's an ABC list, an alphabetical list of the important bold words that were in the book: beam, opaque, source, translucent, transparent, X-ray. And then at the very end of the book, we have our index. So it points us to where the information about these topics would be and on what pages. So if we wanted information about doctors, we'd go to page 2021. If we wanted information about lamps, we'd go to page 6. If we wanted information about X-rays, we'd go to page 20. So that was shadows.